Dream Match City Dynamite this week is going to be incredible. Rampage is looking like it's going to be incredible. Grand Slam week, if you like, over at AEW. We're going to get into it in just a second, so stay tuned. This is the Elite Maniac podcast. What's up, people? Welcome to the Elite Maniac podcast, where we discuss all things AEW. My name is Mex, aka WrestleManiac UK. I'm alongside my co-host Mike, aka Kings Road Wrestling. We have got a very, very exciting show to talk about. Obviously, in regards to what's going to happen in the next few days over in AEW land. But yeah, great show on the way. Gonna interact with you guys as much as possible in the comments, so send in your questions and all of that kind of good stuff. But please remember, smash the like button on the YouTube video, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and for all our audio listeners, please make sure you subscribe and follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review and let the people know a good job that me and Mike are doing right here at the Elite Maniac podcast. This man Mike had the pleasure of Dynamite and Rampage live this past week. So,
yeah, man.
Mike, how are you? How's your week been? Let us know what that felt like.
It was wild. I got there. It was packed. I was like, I hope this is actually like a sellout. It was packed. Like they packed in our hockey stadium in New Jersey, which is nuts. Like 2 years ago, no one would have really thought that they could do that, but they did. Ton of people. All of them were AEW fans. They like sold out the merch line like in the first couple, like 20 minutes. All the shirts were gone. It was absolutely
before the show.
We go in and they do dark elevation, so we see that. Then we see Dynamite, which is wild, and I had really good seats.
Sorry, how long were you there for?
4 hours.
Elevation and Rampage.
Yeah.
And Dynamite. 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's not longer.
Yep. It was longer than 4.
Rampage is only 1 hour. Rampage is only 1 hour.
Yeah, but they had to do like the ring setup and everything. It was longer than 4. But after Dynamite, right, which was nuts. I mean, I saw like Moxley, Minoru Suzuki, Kenny. Like, what more can you ask for that? I know, right? And then I was like, all right. I go to the guys next to me. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, I got work in the morning. They're like, you're not staying for Rampage? And I was like, what? Thought that was next week. And they're like, no. And then I saw them taking off the ring apron, and I'm like, oh, it's now. So then we got 3 more matches, and Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, Miro. It was nuts, dude. It was too much. It was crazy.
Mate, that sounds brilliant. It sounds like it's well worth the money that, you know, whatever you paid for it. It just sounds like it's well worth the money and a great experience. You got some great shows, saw some great segments.
I spent like $130 on the ticket like 2 years ago. When it was originally Blood and Guts, but it was well worth it. Like when Suzuki's music hit, I was like, dude, it just got crazy. Like, man, I got on TV. I saw Cody. Man, we'll get into all of it, I guess, right?
Cody went past you, didn't he?
Cody went past me. I got to yell. I yelled at Malachi Black because I like Malachi, but he's a heel, so I got in his face, and you could actually see that on Dynamite. A lot of people said that they saw me get in his face.
Yeah.
You missed that, didn't you? You didn't see that.
I saw you once. I didn't see you getting Malachi Black's face, but I saw the camera pan to the crowd and I saw you.
I had
seen a picture before of what you're wearing. Yeah, I saw a picture before of what you were going to be wearing. So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, early doors, we got people in the chat. Christian Camacho says, let's go. Number 1 wrestling podcast. Love for that, Christian. Carissa Lopez says, first time here. Thanks for joining us.
She's a really good person out of New York. So thank you for coming, Carissa.
Thanks for coming, Carissa. Appreciate it. Yeshaya Zaina says, welcome. NK up in the chat. He says, been looking forward to this review all week. Yeshaya Zaina says as well, AEW's making serious waves. At this rate, we're going to get another brand soon. Maybe. Victor Punk, good morning. Buenos dias. for all of these guys. And he says that I saw Mike on TV. He almost got into a fight with Cody and Malachi.
Yeah, I was right in there. I was like, I was rooting for Cody though. Like, I know I always give him crap, but like, man, when he came out, I was like, I'm a Cody.
Loving it. Amazing. So, like we've come to do now on this new format of the Sunday show, Mike is going to kind of run through, I guess, the top 5 things that we really enjoyed from Dynamite, Rampage, AEW in general this past week.
I got 5 things, and I got some thing that I think we should talk about, maybe a negative.
Okay.
So,
that's cool.
And I came to me last Sunday on the drive home from my house after we did the podcast, and I was like, I should have brought this up with you, but we'll get into all of that and try to answer as many questions as possible. So I guess we'll get right into it, right? And I'll sprinkle my experiences into this episode throughout the thing. So number 1, we had Kenny.
As you see in this.
Yep. Kenny Omega accepts Bryan Danielson's challenge for a match at Grand Slam.
Yes, man. Yes.
This was really freaking cool. First of all, I forgot who came out first, but the crowd
was out first.
Danielson was out first. The crowd throughout the whole show was insanely hot, and I don't know if that came across on the TV. Did it?
Yeah.
It was a good crowd.
It was a good crowd. Yeah.
I know, like during the MJF promo, like we were really getting at him. We were there was a big "shut the F up" chant, and I was like, "This is loud. They have to hear this." So I whispered to the guy next to me. I was like, "I hope this is coming through." But Danielson comes out, and everybody's doing the yes, and it was sick. Like I was like getting really into it, and I've never done the yes chant before, but I did it this time. It was cool. And then we get Kenny coming out, and this is definitely like a mixed reaction crowd, but I was super happy to see him. He's got the white shirt, he's got the belt, he's got Don Callis, and these two have a little in-ring interaction, and this is something that everybody wants to see, and it's the title of our episode, the thumbnail, everything. Bryan Danielson, I guess, wants to prove that he still has it, that he's still the American Dragon. A lot of us have seen how good he is throughout the years, but he's a little bit older. He's had some injuries. Does he still have it? That's why he's basically here, to prove, how good the AEW roster is, and he can keep up with them, just like CM Punk. And he wants to face Kenny. Kenny's supposedly the best in the world, so he wants that experience. And he says, you should accept this, and we should have a match. Let's do it. And to my surprise, I thought they were going to have some heel antics, but Kenny and Don, they said, sure, we'll do it. We'll do it at Dynamite Grand Slam. And it'll be a non-title match. Interesting stuff right here, especially the stipulation that they put on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Wait, what's the stipulation?
Well, it's a non-title match.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting.
Well, I think it's just an exhibition match, because rightfully so, like the AEW have been doing, no one gets shot straight to the title. You've got to get your wins up. And, climb the rankings. So if Danielson wants to have a match with Omega, fair enough, let it happen. But it can't be for the title. It's just an exhibition match, which may be, making people think that it's a foregone conclusion. Danielson can get the win because it doesn't mean anything. The title's not on the line necessarily. Either way, it's just going to be an absolute banger of a match. Like NK saying here in the chat, Omega versus Danielson is going to be in a stadium. What a platform for this dream match. Like, honestly, they couldn't have picked a better place and a better show to have this kind of be the headline, to be the main event.
4 hours, ladies and gentlemen, in Arthur Ashe Stadium. We're going to get to double Rampage on Friday.
Yeah.
And 2 hours of Dynamite. And I think that what you said about being an exhibition match, it makes this a lot more unpredictable. I think some people in the comments are saying this, like our pit right now. People are kind of up in the air. If it was a title match, Danielson's not going to win, but this makes it very like up in the air, right?
Yeah. Obviously, do you think it'll be a draw? If so, 20 or 30 minutes. I can't see it being a draw, especially if it's going to main event. There has to be a definitive winner, and I'll go.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, but like, it's definitely unpredictable, but how are they going to make... That's like 2 big losses for Kenny with people like coming in. right? Like maybe this is the beginning of
Has
the
been losing
downfall.
to Christian and Brian, you mean?
Yeah.
It is the beginning of the downfall, though. We've seen the Elite, the beginning of the downfall happened when he lost the Impact Championship. And then obviously the Bucks have lost theirs. This is the downfall is happening. So I think Danielson beats him. Maybe, the Elite come out afterwards and pummel Danielson. Who knows? But I definitely think that Danielson wins. We'll
I don't
see.
see him
We'll see
losing.
anyway.
Yeah, I can't see him losing. Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
we'll
so
see.
remember that segment? I think it was last week when he swung at Kenny. I think I mentioned this last week.
Mhm.
Or Kenny swung at him and he just basically
Yeah, just
revert.
put him
Dude,
into the yes lock.
like
It was
this is gonna be really
fantastic.
freaking good, right? Like
Yeah,
I can't believe this.
yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm not going anymore.
Why are you going?
Well, it's kind of a long drive for a
Oh yeah,
Wednesday.
you did say,
So I'm gonna go to
Mhm.
the Nick Gage GCW show on Friday instead.
Okay, cool.
I'll
Let's
watch
go
this
through
on
some
TV.
things. NK said it's interesting to see where Bryan and Punk are positioned in the card. Danielson is straight to the main event picture while Punk is rising up through the ranks. And I think that's, Bryan, they've got different motives. Bryan has said literally from the minute, he was in that press conference after his debut, I'm here to kick people's heads off. I'm not here
Yeah,
to,
to help the
raise
young
raise
talent.
guys. Yeah, I'm not no one's dad sort of thing. So, and Punk, that's what he wants to do. And I think Punk does have more to do in the way of giving back. The way he left, it got a lot of fans angry, despite him having very good reasons, leaving wrestling like how he did. But yeah, I just think they're just on two different missions, but obviously they're both, main event players. Carissa Lopez says Bryan versus Kenny will probably steal the show on Wednesday. Too bad I can't witness it live. TV, Carissa, we're all gonna watch it on TV. It looks like, and at least that way you can replay and watch it properly.
Yeah.
Yashana Zaina said they don't want to make it a title match, not just because of the rankings, but also because they're not knowing the conclusion makes it even more must watch. I guess that, yeah, like you said, there's an element of, unpredictability to this.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people are gonna watch this show.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a crazy card, like for real. When they were announcing
No.
it in the stadium, everyone was like, "What?" And the guy next to me was like, I'm going to Queens."
No, it's a nuts card, honestly. Christian Camacho says, I'm going to Dynamite on October 23rd. I'm hoping it's a great show. All the best. I
Miami,
hope
right? I think.
Arpit and Victor Punk are out here spazzing out about Gage versus Suzuki.
Dude, that was insane. Insane.
Yeah, him coming out is absolute madness.
Yeah.
And NK says, I think they do have a time limit draw. I think they show that Danielson can beat Omega, but runs out of time. I think Omega losing so much hurts the payoff with Adam Page. That's true. That is true. You do have to keep the champion strong.
Who are people more excited about for this though? For this Dynamite Grand Slam, they're more excited for Punk, or are they more excited for
Punk's not even on the
Danielson?
cards. Punk's on he's on Rampage.
So but it's the same show. You know what I mean? Like, so people are like, "Why is Punk on Rampage?" But it's the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same show. This is like a pay-per-view show.
Yeah.
He's just under a different banner. Like, basically, it's like a brand split, but not really. You know?
Yeah. I have a question for you shortly. We're gonna get onto this.
Okay.
Maybe you can give from a live perspective as well, but I'll get onto that in a second. So yeah, you said the number one thing that happened this week, Kenny Omega accepting the challenge of Bryan Danielson. And I love the fact that Kenny Omega left this kind of goofy character to stand face to face with Danielson and, just be serious for 5 minutes and be like, yeah, I'll give you a match. Like, I think it's going to be incredible. What we're going to get next week on Wednesday. Number two, what are we saying for number two? What else happened this week?
I mean, this is my insane moment of the week by far, because I freaking marked out like crazy. I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, and it was when the match ended with Moxley and 2.0 and Eddie Kingston, and I hear ten 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 ten. It's Suzuki's theme, and I'm like, oh my freaking god! Like, I have been harsh on New Japan the last couple weeks, but they had a really good night last night in the G1 opening night, and the person that I've always really liked the most in New Japan is Minoru Suzuki. Like I've loved this guy, and never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would see this guy, like in the flesh. And the music hits. It wasn't announced on the card, and I absolutely lost it. So my number 2 moment is Suzuki coming out to Katse Ninore, it playing out in the stadium, people singing it, then Archer coming out, and then them just having a total brawl, Suzuki-gun versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston into the crowd. Totally awesome. Gotch-style pile drivers, them just brawling and setting up this match for a tag team match at Arthur Ashe Stadium of Suzuki-gun versus Moxley and Kingston. I just like, I don't want to sound lame or corny or anything, but like, I got a little teary-eyed a little bit in the stadium.
Well, if that's something you've looked forward to for all this time,
it doesn't seem real, you know?
Like, no, I definitely hear that. I'm beyond the point of making fun of people for crying at wrestling now, because some things that happen, it literally gets to you so much that it's like, yeah, this could actually bring you to tears, you know?
No, and a lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of the stuff that these guys say, yeah, maybe it's related to wrestling, but it applies to so many different things in life, and it can be inspirational to people.
Yeah.
And if you get moved by that, then you get moved by that. And if you're passionate about someone, you're passionate about them. So totally, I understand people getting emotional at wrestling. I think this whole like, oh, that's stupid, that needs to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, with me and Suzuki, again, he's someone, like you said, that I've just always thought, God, how old is this man? And he's still out here doing what he does. I remember one of my favorite Suzuki moments. I can't remember who he was facing now, but it was a couple of Wrestle Kingdoms ago, and he got his head shaven after he lost the match.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's like, he didn't want anyone to shave it. It's like literally the pride of an old man. Give me the razor. I'm gonna shave my own hair. I don't need anyone to shave it for me. Yeah, he's brilliant. And just how he's been booked so far in AEW as well. Everything is just on site. Like, we have a saying here in England, in London, just on site. Like,
on site, we say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just coming into the ring and standing face to face with someone and, oh yeah, I'll meet you in the ring next week or whatever. If he gets in the ring, he's heading for a fight. Like, that's what he's on. So yeah, it's proper on site with him, all action, no messing about. Yeah, Suzuki is amazing. R. Peter says here that I got you, Mike. I understand that. I would tear up if I was watching Suzuki too. Victor Punk says Tony Khan saw the Suzuki incident trending and gives us a
that
match.
Was freaking hilarious, dude. Like, oh my god. And Punk mentioned it on commentary, I heard.
Yeah, Suzuki incident. Yeah.
Oh, it was versus Goda. Okay, that was like Wrestle Kingdom
Goda,
12, 13 or something like that.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was just a couple of years back. But yeah, and I think, you know, what's good about it as well is they've managed to find a way to shoehorn Lance Archer into this. Obviously,
thank God, man. Thank God.
Lance Archer hasn't been doing nothing. When was the last time we saw Lance Archer before this?
Lambert in Miami.
Yeah, Lambert stuff,
and then before that was the Miro lost. No, the Moxley IWGP title win. And then Tana Hogan screwed him over at Resurgence.
Yeah. Thank God they can fit Lance Archer into this. Give him something to do at least for a couple of weeks, maybe.
You know, I'm going to say something with Lance Archer.
Go on.
People are like, oh, and we'll get, this is the thing I wanted to talk about, which I guess we'll get to at the end. But, you know, people were saying Brian Cage, you know, news came out about him that maybe him and his wife are unhappy about his booking. Yeah. And they're like, oh, Brian Cage should be a star. And then they tie Lance Archer into this whole equation. Like, oh, Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Like, no. Okay? They're not the same people. Brian Cage cannot get on the mic. He sounds like a freaking stooge. Lance can cut mean promos. He's got an awesome look. He's got a manager. He's got the whole package. They are not the same people. And I would totally choose Lance Archer 100% over Brian Cage to get a push. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended any Brian Cage fans, but that's just my opinion. I love Lance.
Yeah, Brian Cage has a look. He can wrestle, but look and wrestling it's not enough. especially in
No,
this
it's
day and
not
age.
enough.
He's someone that maybe would have thrived in the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, but right now there's not enough there. And Lance Archer, like you said, there's a lot more to him. Don't just class them together because they're both big men.
No,
Like,
yeah, they're not
Lance
this
Archer
dude.
has a lot more to offer.
Layers upon layers of like there's stories, there's like history of him with people over in Japan that is like kind of bleeding into Dynamite. Like, yeah, this is good stuff. This is good shit.
Yeah, 100%. Arpit says here that Lance cut a great promo this week too. Yeah, I think it was a pre-recorded one where he done the talking for Minoru Suzuki ultimately. Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Great to see Suzuki. The only thing I've got to ask with this program of how it's kind of played out. Now, we thought we were going to get Eddie Kingston versus Miro
Right,
on
I
this
thought so
card.
too.
Eddie Kingston maybe going over, winning the TNT Championship. Not looking like that's going to happen.
But they're coming back to New York and Long Island.
Yeah, I guess Queens is more of his.
Yeah, Long Island is not Eddie. That's a Taz area.
Exactly.
Queens is the Eddie.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking it doesn't really work. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out and stuff.
Yeah, man. But Gage cut off Suzuki's theme as well.
Yeah.
Dude. So everyone's doing this now to cut it off, and he gets all pissed off.
It's a heel move now.
It looks like Minoru is staying till like November, dude. So that's
nothing
cool.
happening in New Japan, so he might as well.
Well, if he's not gonna, the tournament's on right now, and I guess he's not gonna.
I know, and I'm still saying there's nothing happening in New Japan.
No, there's like picking and choosing some good matches, but there's nothing going on over there that needs him there.
The past 2 years have been very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
Yeah, it seems like when AEW got really big, they just like gave up. It's very odd. I don't know.
Maybe I mean, to be honest, I was about to say the pandemic may have halted things and ruined booking, and obviously people were ill and stuff like that. But it seems like this started before the pandemic. It did start before the pandemic.
It seems like when Kenny left. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we know when Kenny and the Bucks left, there was a bit of a void to fill in it. But it's not been good.
It's just been a series of unfortunate events.
Literally. Yeah. But it is what it is. Let's move on. What else is happening or happened this past week?
We have number 3. This happened on Rampage. Did you catch it this week?
Yeah, I watched Rampage this week. I couldn't believe my week was so busy. Last week's Rampage, I didn't get to watch until just before Dynamite this week.
Really?
Yeah, like my week was just incredibly busy.
Just so much going on.
Too much going on. But I said I need to watch Rampage before I watch Dynamite this week. So I literally found an hour in my day to just put it in.
Dude, I hate working. Like, I'm always so tired. I know. I hate it. I liked before I could just like watch whatever I want. And then people were like, oh, how do you fit in all this like posts? And I was like, well, if you're in school, you could do that. Like, school's not that hard. But this sucks. Like getting up at like 7 a.m. I hate it. But number 3 was I thought a great segment. Ruby Soho and Britt Baker. Yes. They had a little bit of a confrontation on Rampage, and my stomach just. I got just like sure, yeah. I think I drank like too much coffee. All right, but Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, they go at it in the center of the ring for Rampage, and they had this crazy promo to hype up their match at Dynamite Grand Slam. And there were some insults that were flying that were pretty awesome, and the crowd was reacting to it very well. I didn't even know that I was going to see Britt Baker on this show. Okay. I was like, she's not booked, and then like the Rampage thing happened, and I was like, hell yeah! And then Ruby came out. But my favorite line.
Before you go into your favorite line, I was watching. I had Rampage on. I was just doing some other bits and bobs passively. I think I was cleaning my son's room or something, and then all I heard was Ruby Soho's music end, and Britt Baker had the mic, and she goes, "Oh, Ruby, welcome to some TV time," and I went,
"Oh shit, yeah!"
And I dropped whatever I was doing, And I literally just sat there and watched this entire promo. And I know you're about to get into it, but I said, I think this is the greatest women's segment AEW have had since they started.
I heard that someone say this was like the shot in the arm that the women's division needed with Ruby Soho. And I think she's been booked very well since she's gotten here, right? She's come in as a surprise entrant with a cool look, new hair, a dope song, and then got a good win at the Casino Battle Royal, and then has really just been kind of like a cool. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. And there have been people that have come in that have not like done so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's checking all the boxes for me. But Ruby talks about, the only reason that everybody knows Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is because she reminds them all the time. And that, she's relevant because of that. And she's sleeping with somebody in the back. Oh my God, dude, the crowd lost it. Like went nuts. Everyone was dying. I mean, they died at this and the Jericho promo when he was like, "Who's on top?" Remember that with the damn Lambert?
Yeah,
that was great. But people were like, "Holy shit!" And then Britt did the TV time insult. The you got to change your look all the time to stay relevant. Like, why are you even here?
The other good line was the runaway. You call yourself the runaway, but you actually got fired.
Yeah, dude. Like, I was like, shit. This like. These are like insults. Like I can't imagine them going over this backstage. Can you like? So I'm gonna mention
it's like I felt like I was watching like one of these like MTV roasting sessions going back and forth against each other. A lot of people have went on to say, after the fact that Ruby looked a bit shy, maybe fumbled a line or two. I didn't pick up on that personally.
Me either.
But I thought she was good. And why wouldn't you be nervous when you are standing in the ring with probably one of the best promos in the company? Not just best female promos. Let's cut that crap. Britt Baker is one of the best promos in that company.
Yeah, dude, Britt is like
men or women.
Yeah, doesn't matter the gender or the division that they're in. Britt kills it. And you saw the crowd reaction she got when she did the DMD. It was freaking loud. And I would be nervous too, because this is probably like a lot of these stars. This is their first like really big arena show. You know what I mean? Like this was no freaking joke. And I panned the camera up. I have the video. It went all the way up to the ceiling of people there. So yeah, I would be freaking nervous too. But this was awesome. They ended up scrapping a little bit. They threw some hands, and Britt rolled out of the ring. And Ruby picked up that women's world championship and kind of got the camera and everything. And it was a cool, I don't know, man. It was a cool look. I don't know if she really has a chance to win this, but I'm excited for this match. And I'm interested to see how this establishes Ruby.
The thing is, we all watched wrestling for long enough to know that if you stand tall the day before or the night before,
right,
you're not winning. If you pick up the person's title before you win before your match, you're not winning.
No.
We've all watched enough wrestling to know these typical kind of wrestling tropes. However, like we've been saying, the last few weeks since the pay-per-view, they've made a thing about having these casino battle royales or the ladder matches, and the person that wins it never goes on to actually win the title.
No, and think about the G1 climax. The person who wins that like always wins the title. Yeah, they usually win the belt there.
Do you think there is any chance they do like a shock? Ruby Soho wins the championship at Dynamite. Now, wait, I know Britt is brilliant. Britt is amazing, and I am probably one of her biggest fans. However, she is so over. Does she need the title?
No, but it's sick though.
100%.
Like she's so good that like, dude, like 100%. I hate to say it, I really feel bad about this. That in the past I've like kind of separated the divisions. Like here's who's best in the men's, here's who's best of the women's. Like and sometimes, you know, those don't mesh. But she is like so good that she transcends that and just like goes into my rankings of all around, like best wrestlers in the company. Like regardless of it, she's just so freaking good. She's like transcended the division, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
She's amazing. She's actually amazing. And like I said, I personally think, you know, I'm not saying it's the best segment in terms of the best promo segment. And you know, before, I think Britt, who is the best promo in that division, has gone up against a lot of people that are either one, very new to having mic time and delivering long promos and stuff like that, or two, people that aren't speaking, you know, English language fluently.
Mm-hmm.
So she's never had someone that she can actually go back and forth with at a pace, and you know, it could be as fluent as the way that Soho and Baker both delivered it on Rampage. So yeah, big up those two. I literally think this is probably one of the best women's segments I have seen in AEW since.
But you think there's so you think there's a shot?
Listen, I think that very soon, sooner or later, they're going to have to shock us, because we're all saying the same thing. You, me, any other podcast or any other wrestling channel, anything like that, any other wrestling journalist, we're all saying the same thing. The Casino Battle Royal or the ladder match, however they do it, it doesn't mean a thing, because the person that wins it usually gets a good showcase against the champion, but they never win the
That's
championship.
about it. Yeah, it should be called the Showcase Battle Royal.
That's it. So
the Jobbers Royal.
Yeah, so sooner or later, they're going to have to shock us. They're going to have to shock us and make us think, oh, so you can win it from, you know, the Casino Battle Royal, basically. You can go on to be champion. And as of the people they've done it with so far, I don't see a better candidate than Ruby Soho, and the champion, Britt Baker, will still be okay. You see what I mean? It's not a case where if the champion loses it now, they're like, oh, back of the line, they haven't got much on for them, blah, blah, blah.
All right, I'm going to go with it too. Fuck it.
Britt Baker will be okay if she lost it. Ruby Soho probably needs it a bit more to carry her a bit, you know. I just think they need to make it mean something. Like I say, they need to make it mean something very soon. And yeah, I just think the women done absolutely brilliantly. We said, let's take some comments. Yashana Zaina says, nah, Thunder Rosa was the shot in the arm that the women's division needed. Since they signed Thunder Rosa officially, they haven't even really started using her yet.
No, I think they're just waiting, because I always thought she was going to be the next champion, but
she is. I think she probably is.
Unless Ruby wins.
Unless Ruby wins.
Destination. Dude, that was sorry to interrupt the comment, but Lars Fredrickson of Rancid. I didn't even like know that whole story behind. Like, I knew the song, but I didn't know that she asked them. For her. He's a big wrestling fan. He's got his own podcast and everything. It's cool.
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Arpit says Ruby Soho brought in great personality as a babyface. AEW needed one woman like that. Never thought she would be good on the mic, to be honest. Yeah, you never know until you try, and I guess, you know, we never saw it in the WWE, so it's good that she's got the opportunity here. Victor Punk says, we all know at the end of the day Thunder Rosa will be champion. Yeah, that's another one that's just a matter of time. They can pull the trigger on that at any time. Carissa says, Britt versus Ruby seems too predictable, but I think the one to take it off Britt is Thunder Rosa at Revolution, and NK looks like he's got the same sentiment. I think Britt loses the title to Thunder Rosa. Yeah, that's the story. That's the long-term story that's been told, and obviously, you know, if you've got the long-term story in place, don't deviate from it. But like I'm saying, sooner or later, they're gonna have to make one of these battle royals mean something. Maybe they'll do it with a tag team one, because you know, it's the tag team.
It's literally a jobbers, like that's what they call it in that's what they were calling it in Ring of Honor, and the Jobbers Battle Royal.
Yeah. But yeah, great. That was a great segment. Again, congrats to Britt, congrats to Ruby, anyone else involved. Yeah, that was great stuff. That thoroughly was the worth me watching Rampage on Saturday morning. That was
I also liked MJF's, dude. He was just so. I didn't put this on the list, but this was like I mentioned it. But it was so freaking funny, dude. He was like, "They suck as much as your jersey, sure. And then he gets in the game, we're skank. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, people hated him there. It was great.
He does his job well, man.
Yeah, like really well. And Pillman, shout out to him, doing some good work. I liked it. I had number 4, Lucha Brothers with their first successful title defense against Butcher and the Blade on Rampage. I don't really know how Butcher and the Blade got to the number 1 ranking because Butcher came back like a week ago, but whatever. This was their first defense. And Alex Abrahantes came out, and then Penta and Phoenix, and everyone was like, yeah, like into it. New Jersey has a pretty large Hispanic population. So like everybody was like really into it in the stadium, which was cool. They really wanted to see the boys. And this was a pretty solid showing. You know, it was just, you know, they didn't have a chance, but it was a good match. And I've never seen Lucha Libre in person, really.
Okay.
Until this time. It was really good though.
What's your thoughts seeing it live?
Phoenix is amazing.
Say it every time.
Like, yeah, he was doing all his normal stuff, and I was like, oh my god. And I usually like have my phone out and I'm like getting pictures and stuff. But I was just like totally focused in on this match. I just wanted to see the spectacle. As it's like once in a lifetime to see these guys, and it was sick. He did like a couple moonsaults, I think. Yeah, dude, it was like I was so into it. What did you think of this match?
Yeah, it was really good. It's good to see the Butcher back. Obviously we've seen him in the last few weeks since he came back, and he looks in really good shape. I think it was important to see the Lucha Bros kind of have a good first defense. And then of course the bit of storytelling in terms of, you know, Penta had his mask tied to the bottom rope. He managed to like get his head out of his mask and pop up for the super kick, held his face so that no one will see his face. I thought that was a really kind of good thing, sacrificing his mask to basically
the mask fell off. Yeah.
So yeah, that was well done, well executed. And then of course we saw after they got the win, the HFO came out and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So I actually went to the bathroom for the HFO stuff, so I kind of missed what happened here with like, did Orange Cass? I know I saw a little bit about it, but Orange, like,
so there was some guy in the crowd dressed as Orange Cassidy, and obviously just some plant, and Matt Hardy and them like dragged him over the ring barrier and started beating him up, and then Orange Cassidy came out and stuff like that. Like, for me, this is just very WWE. It's very sports entertainment-ish.
Sports entertainment.
Yeah, it's whatever. I didn't really like it. I thought it was unnecessary. Didn't add anything, I don't think. But yeah, it is what it is. Arpit says here in the chat, love the Lucha Bros, but they need to stop with the mask thing. The mask does seem to come off a bit often or get torn a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, they tore during the Bucks versus them. Yeah, their mask always tears.
Mask tears all the time, innit? Victor Punk says, I'm happy Mike is getting into the Lucha Libre culture. I had the chance to watch the Lucha Bros live years ago. And he says, Penta's mask tied up on the ropes is a classic AAA move. They did that back in the day with Octagon and Pentagon.
What is Pentagon? Pentagon's like Pentagon like 5 or something.
Yeah,
there's like 5 before him, and his Victor told me this actually. Like the original Pentagon is Andrade's uncle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Some cool stuff over there. Poor Andrade.
The guy had long hair and they shaved his head. Yeah, that's the whole thing they want to do to Orange Cassidy, shave his head. And Yashayana Zaina says Penta says that Lucha Bros can keep doing whatever they want.
Yeah, definitely. They're on top of the world right now. Penta says. Dude, I had like this like new like caffeine drink that I had. It was like red liquid, and I think it was like I don't know. I shouldn't have drank it though, because I think it's like a pre-workout because my skin is itchy now, and that's what happens when you take pre-workout. So I'm over here dying. I'm like all red, like yeah. I'm trying to get the day going.
Stay alive until we finish the stream, and then you can die afterwards. Yeah.
I'm doing it for you guys. No, but this was sick. And they're not fighting at Arthur Ashe, are they?
Who, the Lucha Brothers?
No,
they're not.
I don't know who's they going to be like. Is it going to be Proud and Powerful next? Is their next defense?
I think that's the next people that will hold the title for sure.
You think so? Over Jurassic?
Yeah.
Right? Like this is like
where's the trios titles? We're still
what? They were like,
titles,
they're coming like at the end of the summer, and then like they didn't come, and then we're like, they're coming like probably at All Out, and they didn't come.
They're coming end of the summer. Next week is in October, mate.
I thought they were coming, dude. I really thought that was going to happen. And I saw like this thing about like the belt maker for the AEW belts, like posted like a kind of a cryptic thing. And people were like, there's a new belt. Like, what is it? Is this the women's tag teams or the trios? I'd rather have the trios right now.
Yeah, definitely.
No offense, but there's just not enough established tag teams, right?
Yeah, in the women's division. Yeah, definitely
not. So yeah, that's what I'd rather see, and I don't know. Yeah, give it to the Jurassic Express first, right? Or Adam Cole, baby.
You know what? I would have said Adam Cole, but the Bucks have literally just had a title reign, so it might be too much too soon. I think Jurassic Express, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah. Lucha Brothers are in an 8-man tag at Arthur Ashe. Oh, they are.
And an 8-man tag at Arthur Ashe.
Fuck really? The Hardy family. I'm so tired of them. Like, they are such a terrible team. I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Do you like it?
Oh, that's what they went. Proud and Powerful and the Lucha Bros versus HFO. Is that on Dynamite?
I guess so. That sucks, dude. That's not a good match.
Okay, we'll see. It says, if AEW wants a trios feud, they need to start dropping hints soon. Carissa says Lucha Bros, Proud and Powerful, and then Escalera de la Muta match is something I want to see. Oh, okay.
What does that entail?
Yeah, Carissa, you need to tell us what the stipulation means. Down below in the comments, please.
Our pit agrees with me right here.
Our pit says HFO sucks. So, yeah,
dude, it just like doesn't make any sense. Like the reasoning behind the faction is so stupid.
Private Party and Matt Hardy was enough. We're doing good stuff, and now everyone else is just clunky, man.
All right, let's get into this right now because this goes along with exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, let's go.
I listened to the GCW World of Deathmatch podcast, and it's all about death matches, but they talked about AEW because everybody's watching AEW right now, and they talked about it. And they were like, there are 114 contracted wrestlers on the AEW roster. Furthermore, there's another like 30 staff and in-ring personalities that are flown out most weeks for the performances. And they are looking to expand their roster. And I think that they need to like cut this down a little bit, dude. There are so many people, and like they just throw them in factions. And that's like what the HFO really is. Like, we're not going to get these guys time. Let's just throw them into a faction and bring them out there. And it's just a mess. They're like, I don't know how they're going to fit in TV time for these people. Am I the only one that thinks this?
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's why they put them in a faction so that some way, somehow, they can get TV time.
There are a ton of people, dude, though, and they like are trying to bring in more people.
There is.
They could get away with 60 wrestlers, like cutting this in half. I don't know what they're gonna do, dude. That's expensive.
It is. I trust AEW to manage it better, or as well as they can. Just seen Alex Harrison's comments in the chat. He says AEW better make sure they don't become WCW 2.0. As he's suggesting they broadcast on YouTube as well.
They kind of do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, not a lot of time. So far, I've seen good roster management by AEW, making
for the most part.
People, get good time. Obviously, most shows will be centered around their top guys and girls, but everyone else, they've seemed to rotate on a good kind of 2 to 3 week basis, you always do see them. You never really
Mm-hmm.
forget that someone's there.
But here's
Um,
my problem. Like, so recent signing, Lee Moriarty.
mm,
That's the people I want to see get signed, because you bring in a guy like Lee Moriarty. He's kind of trying to he's young. He's an independent star. So he's trying to build himself up. He's going to be like doing the work on Dark and
yeah,
really building himself there. He's not a guy like, and I hate to say it, Bray Wyatt, who if you brought in, he's already an established star. And
yeah,
it's like, where's my TV time? I'm here,
mm,
let me, like, you know what I mean? Versus like someone like that who's going to build themselves up on the YouTube shows. Like, you bring in like a top established star, like they're going to eat up time. They're going to want a run. People are going to say, where's their push? So I think right now, and this is my main point of this whole thing, that I think they brought in enough people for now, and they should kind of calm down on the who's going to be all elite next. Like, I'm good with what we have. You know what I mean? Plus the
yeah.
partnerships that they have with these other promotions, like there is a plethora of people. And I'm sorry, but I don't think Bray is needed at the moment. At the moment.
Yeah, yeah. No. I definitely hear that. I definitely agree somewhat. Um, but it's a thing where Bray is like one of these names where it's like, if he's available, you have to get it. You see what I mean?
Then
Like
Tony said that before. Yeah, you just like, they're kind of in a conundrum. Like, they're
that. Yeah,
available.
that's it. Like there's people he's passed on. Buddy Murphy, he's passed on. Braun Strowman, he's passed on. Maybe those names aren't of the level. You see what I mean? But names like Wyatt, I mean, we all saw the response on the internet when Wyatt was released.
I know
If
he's got
people
it.
have that kind of fandom for him, he's gonna get signed if he's available. You see what I mean? So yeah, they do need to manage it. So far, like I said, I'm quite comfortable that how they have been managing it.
I'm just
There's only
concerned a little bit.
there's reason to be concerned, but I think we haven't seen anything just yet to give us the alarm bells, if you see what I mean.
Hmm.
So
Well, there are some people that are kind of like, were put on the wayside, that like were in the beginning of AEW, like getting featured very regularly.
like who?
Um,
I bet the names you mention are people that go on, names on names.
and you know who I'm going to mention, probably
Who?
Janela, Sean
Okay.
Spears. I think Andrade, he's the new, but I think he's going to get lost in the mix.
You
Cage.
raise Yeah, you raised some good points. There's some good names there. Lance Archer's another one of them. Um there are some names, but Joey Janela, I think he's probably got some deal where he's there, but obviously he's doing his GCW stuff more.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
for
what it.
platform to promote GCW. I don't think he cares about not being on AEW TV so
Like,
much.
is everybody signed to the same contract, or are there like, or like some people signed to kind of like different contracts? I mean, if
Yeah,
that's the case,
Janela might actually have like a part-time contract.
yeah, or like they're not like making six figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So,
if that's the case,
and
then I'm wrong, and this doesn't, you know.
yeah. And remember, like, I personally think once Omega drops the title, he probably takes a rest for a while. Jericho, he's, you know, he's more or less winding down already.
Cody's kind of,
Cody's already part-time ish. What's
the
this guy's name?
Bucks dropped the
Christian.
belt.
Christian is more or less Impact champion, so he's going to be over there more than maybe featured in prominent roles on AEW. That's already kind of four spaces that are kind of will free up and are free right now in some cases. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
I am.
This
I
this
am.
is now where their roster is getting big, and we'll see how they go about managing it. Just to take some of the comments quickly, Victor Punk says that AEW needs to get rid of the HFO faction and QT Marshall's faction. Um, Christian Camacho says, "Not going to lie, I love them, but I'm kind of surprised how much TV time Garcia and 2.0 are getting." I would agree with that, but I would say every time they're going on TV, they're proving why they need to be on TV. Um, them guys are doing some really good stuff, and I
They've
know
won
you
me
said Mike,
over,
they're
dude.
winning you over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yashar Zaina says Bray isn't needed, but I want him so badly. I think a lot of fans do as well. Arpit says the only one guy I need in AEW is AJ, and that too on a personal bias. Otherwise, there's really no need for big names. They can sign AJ Gray or Hammerstone and other independent stars. Um, if they've got the space to, yeah. Yashar Zaina says that he's shocked that Tony passed on Buddy Murphy. Victor Punk says, don't expect Ric Flair on AEW for what happened on Dark Side of the Ring. Hey, Victor, we're not even going to talk about that. Let's just move on. Black Nito says, it's a legitimate concern. The roster doesn't need to grow any more than this. Bray, I think, would be best suited in Impact, where he'll have more time than in AEW. Yeah, quite possibly. And obviously, like we said already, that connection is there. So, yeah, that could be something as well. So yeah, Yasha Zaina just finishes off by saying trios titles will also allow AEW to fit more talent on TV at once. Again, pretty much the same argument as the faction thing. Mike, let's move on. Is there were we on 0.4 or 0.5?
Yeah, we're on, and now we're on 0.5. But yeah, good comments. Thank you everybody for the discussion.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm not gonna be like a pessimist about this. I just wanted to bring it up and get your thoughts about it. But I hope that
it's a good point.
It is a good point. Yeah. Number 5, Adam Cole. His successful first debut, first match at AEW against Frankie Kazarian. I was pumped to see Adam Cole in person, man. This was good stuff. Whole crowd was loving it. Whole crowd was doing baby and the boom. And I thought this was probably the match of the most solid match of the night.
Yeah.
Adam's really good, man.
AEW are basically using Kazarian in the quote unquote Dolph Ziggler position. This is what WWE do. As soon as someone new comes in the door, Dolph Ziggler.
Real okay.
Oh my God, NK. This is why I love NK, bro. I feel like I'm the only person that has voiced this.
No,
Adam Cole's theme.
It's all about the boom.
That theme is absolutely brilliant.
Is it better than his NXT theme?
His NXT theme of his singles run, yes, that was trash. But the Undisputed Era theme is legendary. But this one is brilliant.
It's all about the boom, Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
it's so good. Anyway, yeah, Kazarian is literally handing these guys brilliant matches, and I say handing. I know Adam Cole's a terrific wrestler as well. He does his bit, but Kazarian is super underrated for the role he's playing. I love this elite hunter gimmick, but I definitely think he needs to take off someone's head soon. Otherwise, you're not an elite hunter, are you?
No.
You have to, even if it's Brandon Cutler, just like kidnaps Brandon Cutler for a week or something like that.
Kidnaps Brandon Cutler. Yeah, that's a great idea.
He just has to. If he's an elite hunter, he has to get one over on somebody. You see what I mean? Take Nakazawa or take Brandon Cutler, and I'll be happy. Or take Don Callis for a week. That'll be good. But yeah, he needs to prove himself as an elite hunter because right now he's not doing a great job. But
yeah, he's like the gatekeeper to AEW. He's like, get through me before you. Before you get. Which is like pretty cool, but
yeah, he's doing a great job. Kaz, I didn't like Adam Cole's jacket that he wore to the ring. It's like a motorcycle jacket, like a massive one. It looked like it was swallowing him.
Yeah, you're not fooling anyone, bro. You're not a motor.
Yeah, like I really hated that jacket, but God, Adam Cole's my guy.
What's his finisher call? It's just a Canadian.
His finisher's what they call it, the last.
It's a Shining Wizard, right?
The Shining Wizard.
It was cool, yeah. He hit the Canadian Destroyer in the match, and dude, people were really into him. Like a lot of people were there with Adam Cole baby shirts and all elite baby and signs. Like a lot of people came for Adam Cole. So like this was this was such a good roster signing, man.
Yeah, definitely. NK says Kazarian is being used as the workhorse for debuting talent. Isha Zaina says CM Punk committed commentary treason. He spoke over the crowd's boom and almost over that Adam Cole baby. I guess we have to give him a bly. He's not a full-time commentator, so I guess his timing may have
I mean, he's allowed to do that. He dove into the crowd too. I forgot about that. Sorry.
I saw him jump into the crowd.
I saw him as well. dude, that was insane when the song came out. I don't think you guys saw that because it happened before TV, but they played Living Color Cult of Personality.
I think we did see him. That's when he went on to commentary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
he jumped into the crowd and then walked back up the thing and then got onto the desk. Yeah, we saw it.
Dude, yeah, people were going freaking crazy, dude. This was an unbelievable experience. I hope I didn't get sick from this show because there were so many people there. Like, seriously, there was a lot of people. It was packed in, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Christian Camacho says they need his ROH theme.
That was a good one.
Really good. That was a really good theme. Arpit says that Bebe is deafening.
Arpit loves Arpit actually got to talk to Adam Cole on like a face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was cool. That's it. Victor Punk says the last shot. That's what it was called in NXT anyway. I don't know if that's what he calls it.
It's like Muda. It's a little bit better than Muda's.
Yeah. But yeah, that was number 5. That was obviously Adam Cole's debut. Like we said, we've got a lot to look forward to this week. Cody versus Malachi Black. We've got the women's title match, Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho.
Uh-huh.
We've got the men's exhibition match, the dream match, Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan. Of course, on Rampage, 2-hour Rampage, you got CM Punk making his TV debut in AEW against Will Hobbs. Great spot for Will Hobbs. We've got Adam Cole and the Bucks teaming up just back like back in the old days against Jurassic Express and Christian, I think it is. Whilst we're talking about Rampage, this was my question that I wanted to ask you. It's been a couple weeks of Rampage, since its inception. And obviously, you've got to see Rampage live now. As much as Tony Khan told us there is no B show, like these shows are on par of each other, is Rampage the B show? And I'm don't just take into consideration what you saw when you were there this past week, just how Rampage has been booked. Generally.
I would say,
what's your thoughts on Rampage basically since the dust has settled now on the hype of it starting and all of that?
I wouldn't say it's a B show, but I would say there's not much difference from Dynamite. I just think it's kind of like a little bit different, kind of like an extension of Dynamite. And that only reason I say that is because there's been a lot of title matches and like there's not really been any like mid-card talent. Like it's just been great stuff being featured. It really has, but I don't think it's sustainable to have title matches every week. So I think it will kind of become that. And I was really looking forward to something like pretty different. And I don't really see the difference. And I know we talked about this, but what do you think? You think it's a B show?
Yes, respectfully.
Okay.
I do think it is. I think last week kind of cemented it for me. This past week was better, but I mean, if we're being honest, like Lucha Bros, we knew they were going to defend their title. We knew Miro was going to retain his TNT championship. Last week, we saw them open the show with Andrade versus Pac, which I thought someone actually told me they are putting some of these main events caliber matches like Andrade Pac. They're putting it first because they can see that because of the time it comes on in the US for you guys, maybe people are tuning out after a certain time.
No, definitely. That's the strategy. You want to be on first at this hour.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. Yeah.
So yeah. And that then leaves now with respectfully, I will say that, I understand that Pillman Jr. was in his hometown last week and that's why he main evented the show. Main event in Rampage against who did he wrestle again?
Caster.
Yes, Max Caster. But let's be completely honest, that is not a main event match.
The main event was Miro and Fuego this week, and like everyone kind of. I mean, it was good, but I wanted something different. I wanted something.
Rampage. I think we were almost sold that Rampage was just going to be its own different show, maybe with like its even own stipulation, with just a whole different feel.
Bring out the light tubes. Give us something different. I know I'm being a
That's
jerk here,
guy,
but
man.
give us something different.
I genuinely feel that's like what we were sold when they told us they were giving us a new show on Rampage, and it's
Rampage
not
is
going to be a
Wrestling Unleashed.
Yeah,
It's
but
not Wrestling Unleashed
it's the third hour of Dynamite. It's literally the third hour of Dynamite. Without
they're gonna get a second hour of that too and move it back. I
actually think maybe a second hour of Rampage, so that will help it become its own show more than what was too much to put on Dynamite in an extra hour. If you see what I mean, it might
I
help.
think
The
that's what they're
second hour.
going. I think that's what they're going for. Like eventually. And
Yeah.
another thing with the roster, the complaints that we were talking about earlier, like that wouldn't hurt, you know.
Yeah, definitely. That would help. That would definitely help.
No, but I really thought it was going to be something different. Like I don't know why I thought that.
I honestly think me and you couldn't be the only people in this world that you feel this way. Like, I'm sure we were sold that this was going to be a bit different. NK says here in the chat, Rampage just feels like a third hour of Dynamite. Rampage has had big moments like Punk debuting, Omega losing the title. Even CM Punk's first TV match will be on Rampage. And this is them trying to make Rampage feel like something, and I respect it, and I am very appreciative of it. But they can't give us Omega, or to be honest, they probably could give us the likes of an Omega or Punk or someone else every week on Rampage. They probably could, but it's like you're just waiting for that match to happen, and then that's it. There's like nothing else of real substance or meaning on the card. It's still early days. Maybe, you know, something will change, and we'll see how it is going forward. But I feel right now, after it's been maybe about a month, you know, since we've had Rampage, I feel it's beginning to slip into B show category.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I don't think now I would like cancel plans to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You feel like you'll go about your evening and then catch it whenever you can.
Yeah, because I made promises to my followers that I'd always watch Dynamite and everything. I never made a Rampage promise. I was just doing it. I was just doing it because it was like really good so far. But like, there's something going on. Like, there's no issue with watching on Saturday, and like some of the things like already are pre-recorded. You know, like what's the point?
Yeah, I hear that. No, man. Listen,
not to be pessimistic, not to
end on a pessimistic note. Like it's like I'm still watching it. It's still
good.
Great TV for me, but I just feel we were kind of sold on something, and that hasn't delivered. But let's just warm the atmosphere and finish on this note here from Arpit, when obviously he had his conversation with Adam Cole in Adam Cole's WWE days. And Arpit says, Cole's such a humble man. He was so nice to me.
I saw that, and he did seem really nice. Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
You have to be nice. You have to be respectful. I mean, I'm seeing, especially in the last week with things we've seen in Dark Side of the Ring, I saw during this last week as well, people saying that Jade Cargill's a man because of her stature and this, that, and the other. Just be cool, man.
They made Eddie get off Twitter.
Yeah, it's just absolute nonsense. One last thing before we get out of here. We both said, last week, I think we were looking at the Jade Cargill Layla Hirsch match, and we said, Layla Hirsch is at home in Jersey. She'll get the win.
No.
What happened?
Nah, she got beat by Jade.
What happened? You didn't give her the win.
I thought so too. People were like, really were cheering Layla too, but Jade is so good. I didn't really like realize it. Like, she's good, dude. She's got everything.
I think for the stuff they're letting her do, because obviously she is still very green. She is still very young as a talent, in her experience. I feel they're giving her the right amount of moves and the right moves.
Dude, for sure.
Go through your pace, nail those stuff before you might have to add some new stuff to your moveset, and she's nailing it.
She does two things extremely well. The finisher that she does, like, she hits it perfectly, and the big boot looks awesome in person, especially. Like, there was a guy next to me, and he was booing Jade, and I was like, "Oh, shut the fuck up! Like, you're really annoying me." But poor Layla, she didn't get a hometown win, but she did well. She probably took Jade to the most distance so far though.
Yeah, she's
out
definitely
of
had the
anyone.
longest match with
Mhm.
Jade on TV, 100%. But yeah, guys, look, we'll leave it there for this evening. Where I am anyway. I know it's afternoon for you. We have a absolutely stacked show next week to get through in terms of Grand Slam, Dynamite, Grand Slam, Rampage. I hope you will join us same time next week, Sunday, so we can all go through it together. Thank you for everyone that's been involved today in the chat.
I'm seeing
But
Suzuki again on Friday.
GCW.
Yeah, and Taiji Ishimori is gonna be there.
Can you stop showing off now?
I know.
Just relax. Just take it easy. Take it easy. Guys, remember to smash the like button on your way out and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for all our audio listeners, please make sure you subscribe and follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know how good of a job I'm doing and how good
Yeah,
of a show off Mike
I know.
is.
I just am like so cool. I see like the coolest people.
You're very lucky, my friend. You're very, very lucky.
You got to
Mike,
come to
any
New
last words
Jersey.
before we get out of here?
Man, I want more. I want to go to another AEW show. I'm hungry for more. It was so cool, dude. It was just a good experience. And if you have the opportunity to do so, like, and you're kind of like debating it, like just go, just pull the trigger. Like, I don't think you're gonna regret it.
The day they come to London, like I'm going to WWE tomorrow.
I
I'm
heard
going to
about that
WWE.
from someone.
Yeah.
They're coming. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going to watch. Like I don't know
Mhm.
if it's Raw or SmackDown, but I'm going to WWE tomorrow. And I just have a ticket in the sky somewhere in the arena.
It's still fun.
When AEW come to town, listen, I don't care how much it is. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be somewhere in that front row. I've got to be, because I've got to literally inhale that at full
Spend the
blast.
money.
No, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. I had a buddy who bought front row, like ringside, and he said it was like an experience of a lifetime.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Guys, let's get out of here. Guys, please make sure you're following Mike on Instagram, Kings Road Wrestling, and you can follow me, WrestleManiac.uk on Instagram too. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back same time next week. Take care.